That's it, everybody. I want to get down to business. We're here. We're all about business. Yeah. One of the devs for MLB literally said in the stream that Pack Luck was trash and you shouldn't spend your money on them. Did they really? I mean, I could be being gaslit on that, but at the same time, I believe it. Because, yeah, I mean, unless you're Deke Slayer packing a Mike Trout. Anyway, franchise mode. With the Boston Red Sox. We are better than we were last year. It's a little bit problematic. But that old thing called player development has kind of come back to bite us in the behind. I'm just getting a Word doc set up here really quickly. There we go. It's kind of come back to haunt us a little bit. We look at catcher. It's not very good. Ronaldo Hernandez is good enough to be the starter. We have a 57 overall prospect as his backup. Because, yeah. Just because, yeah. We could still look. We could for a catcher. It's not the highest emphasis, though. Palpatine, what's going on? First base-wise, Tristan Casas is there. Patel, they're getting better. We don't really need a first baseman. So long as Tristan's here, he's only 26. We're going to have a renewable deal at the end of this year, 3 arbitration years. Like, we're good. We have him until he's 30. We're fine. Second base. I mean, Nick York might be the guy. We got a couple other guys in the mix. Second base is, it's a toss-up in terms of whether or not we need it. But again, nice to, nice to see some decent potential guys there. Third base. Yeah. We picked up Kobe Mayo in the Rule 5. We did end up signing Chauncey Ball. But, yeah, the Red Sox jerseys always had white text. Or am I missing? No, that's what they've looked like. For as far as I remember. Long as I remember. We could still look for a third baseman. We could. We might. We shan't. It's in consideration. Shortstop, we're good. Marcelo Meyer is there. You know, we got a couple other pieces. Shout out to STB. Getting a Byron Buxton. What a guy. Taps, what's up? So yeah, shortstop-wise, we should be fine. Left field. Miguel Dew is still there. As is Dennis. I got to be honest. As we start looking at center field, we still need outfielders. Badly. Badly. Do we need outfielders with the exception of Miguel Blay? And then Vince Scruggs, I mean, he's not bad. But no doubt I think outfield is still going to be our primary focus. Roger Rodriguez has made the starting roster. Because why wouldn't he? He is going to be an absolute fiend. Absolute fiend, I say. And we could still use... I mean, we still could kind of use some starting pitching. We could. John, check out the most recent podcast. We talked about it. And then from there, relievers are also still kind of in that next tier. Needing outfielders and relievers. Having to play Andreas Lorenz as a AAA ball player because we picked up a lot of dudes in the Rule 5. So that is our setup for the year. We, again, are better than we should be. Than I wanted to be, I should say. Like I presume this is going to be a very disappointing season for the sole purpose of, again, we had some damn good prospect developments. Is MLB currently the best sports game on the market? NBA, I still think, has it beat in some ways. It depends on, what direction, what aspect of the game you're looking for. But yeah, look at that look at this rotation. Look at this rotation. I mean, especially with Roger. My God. We might just fuck around and make the playoffs. I'm hoping we get some good trade offers because I'm not going to use the trade finder. This team could find their way into the playoffs. We'll find out. Or, because I said that, they'll be the worst team that we've had yet. So we are not going to worry about discovery. We're going to hope that initial discovery period was decent. Jack Leroy is the projected #1 player. We might take a look at him. I'm going to start in the outfield again. Claudio Zapata. By the way, apparently I have no bonus money and no draft picks. Well, that better be a bug, because that's impossible. Uh-huh. Well, I certainly hope that's a bug. Remember in the VOD, it was like that for a couple weeks. Okay. It might be that way because of the lottery not going through yet, maybe? Okay. Well, if you've seen it like that before and I haven't noticed, it's okay. We'll march on. You'd think they'd just have it be first round, question mark, but whatever. So in left, let's start taking a look. Do I want to start taking a look here? It doesn't look like there are going to be too many guys to really scout out anyway. Claudio Zapata, Lloyd O'Hara, Estevan Araujo will be there as well. Also, positional needs. Positional needs will focus on the 3 outfield spots to kick it off. We need more outfielders, damn it. And we have 1 win in our first 4 games. GG's. 4 and 5. All right. Let's see. Now do I know where I'm selecting? Nope, still don't. Cool. All right. Zapata, still worth looking at. Honestly, I would say all three players are still worth looking at, really. You could argue hold off on Estevan just because that overall dropped a little bit. Let's focus on the top 2. Go over to center field. Ray Owens. Ray Owens. Let's find out how good you are. We'll keep it going. Draft of glory. LOL, there are no draft picks. We got an offer for Bailey Ober, but, I mean, he's 30. It's not even worth it. There's O'Hara. There's O'Hara. I went to school with someone whose last name was O'Hara, Mr. CJ O'Hara, and it was O'Hara. So, suck it. The Rockies. Who the hell is Nino Guzman? 21C and a 58 for a D-rated prospect. Oh, no. Trade logic in this game is mighty broken sometimes. There we go. So we got $9 million of bonus allotment money. And a couple of those guys are still looking pretty good. What draft pick do we have? Number 10, as expected. As expected, the 10th overall pick. So we have to deliver here. Let's take a look at Claudio. I want 100% info on him. Estevan will hold off on. We'll go with Lloyd O'Hara in this instance. I want to know more about him. And again, in lefts, not too worried. Not too worried. Center field, Casey Porter. Let's look at you. Let's look at you. Simon of the week. I'm telling you, man, the draft, it doesn't give me enough time. Bailey Falter for Garrett Mitchell. I'm going to say no to that. Okay, so Zapata. Zapata dropped a little bit. I mean, that screams B potential. I don't know about that. O'Hara dropped a little bit. Casey Porter still might be interesting. Let's keep looking at Porter until we know for sure. Slide in Rafael Cruz. It looks like we do have more center fielders to look at. Let's continue to look at Ray Owens. How long until NHL has these random faces? I mean, they have them for scouts. You know, who you'd want them for. Wow, we just had a winless week. GG's. Schreiber for Thomas Nito, the legend, but he is 31. We don't need him. We don't need him. Sens fam, what's up? All right, Casey Porter. I think we could still scout for a little bit. Same for Cruz. Maybe not. And then Ray Owens dropped a little bit. I think we got to start being a little bit more. We're just aiming for best player available at this point. Let's take a look at Jose Manuel. We'll also take a look at Julian Vaccaro. And also in center, Brian Chen. I mean, again, it's the 10th overall pick. We have to set our sights high. I don't think we've been aggressive enough so far in terms of scouting. So, somebody in my fantasy league offered me Vanacek for Merzlikins. Would I be an idiot to not take that? It's a keeper league. I mean, if you're the one ending up with Vanacek, yes. Because that Merzlikins isn't going to play for the rest of the year. All right, all three of these guys are looking okay, but their overalls are going to be, at least from what we know now, at about 40-45%. All of their overalls are going to be lower. They're going to be more projects. So, look, I don't like using the general scouting because you have to assign a region. I'd rather just go after the specific players. I mean, yes, I could technically end up with a bit more general information for certain people, but at the same time, I'm just not sure how much it's worth it, you know? So we kind of know that Jose Manuel and Vaccaro are decent, but are they what we're looking for with a 10th pick? Same for Chen. All right, Hernandez with that overall. I mean, there's a couple of center fielders here, man. This is a pretty deep draft. Let's look at Hernandez and then this guy at the end. Frank Villafuerte. Could be amazing. Let's keep looking. I mean, we are looking for someone who should go top 5. Eduardo Rodriguez for Chris Sale. Well, Erod is on the last year of his deal. Chris Sale is declining and declining fast. Has a 7 ERA. Whew. Oh, Mr. Sale is cooked. That man is cooked. Whereas Rodriguez has not pitched in the majors this year. Keep Sale, he helps for the tank. Honestly, he does. He does. Wow, we just lost 16-0 to the Mets. Was Chris Sale on the mound for that? Yep. Yes, he was. Oh, my God. Dude, oh, my God. He's not even cooked. He is roasted. Jesus. Ooh. Frank Villafuerte. Okay, so like Vasquez, we could keep looking at. Hernandez is out. Look at that potential range for Villafuerte. 90% scouted. He's a target. He's a target for sure. Honestly, he's probably my #1 target so far. Who else do we have at center before we start looking at pitchers? Gomez, I'm not going to worry about. Darren Hester. And look at him. I'm not too worried about Phil Kemp. I think we can aim for people who are a little bit higher. Darren Hester. Yeah, this is, dude, Villafuerte could go top 9. Again, the AI are pretty shrewd. If they find someone they like, they just go for it. This is not NHL where it's like, well, if I get the 45th pick, this dude's projected at 49. He's guaranteed to be here. All right, center field. Well, Jesus Christ. I almost want to scout this guy just to know if he's actually that bad. It would be a waste, but honestly, like, how could you possibly be that bad? Warrior, what's up? In right, TJ Hurley. We'll look at you, and we'll look at Samuel Mendoza. So far, there's only one dude I've seen that I would consider taking with that 10th overall pick. As we just beat the Yankees 16-1. You'll love to see it. Whoo! Darren Hester. But he's 23, and his rating's not going to be very good. Oh, that's so sad. With a potential like that, fuck. Oh, that's a heartbreaker. He's really fast. I know it's cut off by the screen, like he's just really fast. Damn it. Turns out being an uncle is better than being a parent. Yeah, because you don't have to freaking take the kids home with you. You just get to deal with all the best parts of being an uncle without the responsibility of being a parent. All right. So we got a couple of guys we want to keep an eye on in center, including Villafuerte and Hester. To be honest, Hester might be worth the risk just to see if our scout's wrong about his overall. In right, Pedro de los Santos, Guillermo Chavez, and... okay, that's where Hurley was. He dropped off. Brian Kovaleski, only that 85. I'll look at you. I don't really like you, but I'll look at you. I'll look at you. Blue Jays offers Nate Pearson for Nick Sogard. I mean, Sogard's in Worcester right now because of Kobe Mayo. Loca because I prioritize need first and then general players. So Pearson's honestly doing too well. We don't need him. We don't need him. We don't need him. All right, let's keep it going. We are 41 days out from the draft. Hello, De Los Santos. Chavez dropped off a little bit too much for my liking. So did Kovaleski. So did Kovaleski. Is there anybody else? There's Quiones. I don't like those starting ranges of 5%. There's also Daly. I'm not liking too much else in the outfield. I mean, I could look at Quiones. I could look at Daly, but it's not. Those aren't looking like 10th overall pick kind of guys. I do want to keep looking at De Los Santos, though. All right. From there, we had relief as a must-have. But we also had starting pitching, third base, in the secondary kind of need tier, and then catcher and second base further beyond that. Third base, there are a couple of guys who are interesting, including Nate Logan randomly there. There's no way his overall can be that low, right? Can never have too many pitchers. That's true. Honestly, 46th overall. I am going to focus on need first. Let's start looking at relievers. Astros. Trevor Story for catcher Corey Lee. I mean, Lee would certainly be a half-decent catcher for us to use because Hernandez is not the guy. It would help us get rid of Trevor Story. Lee is not very good at the plate, but yeah, it would help us get rid of Trevor Story. And they want Story because Robbie Hawk is hurt and Altuve's dropping a little bit. Surprised they can afford it. Very surprised they can afford it. Story's in decline. Only has 4 home runs this year in 48 games. So... get Arroyo in as the starter. I think we're going to take that. Corey Lee for Trevor Story. Done deal. Will save us some money moving forward, too. 34 days out from the draft. De Los Santos, unfortunately, is not him. Nor is Tabarn. Oof. Can we get a reliever who might actually be him? Luis Trujillo, Carlos Corran, and look at Larry Marte. Do need to find bullpen arms. Marlins. Braxton Garrett, Kobe Lark. Crash Andrews. That's a man I like to see. Hello, Crash Andrews. How'd the stream go? You handsome devil. I hope it went well. Ooh, okay. We got a couple relievers here. It might be a little bit better. Only 40% scouted. Only 40% scouted. Who else do we have for relief? I want to scout guys at least up to 40%. At least that way we'll kind of have a general idea as to whether or not someone's worth it. And most of these guys will be aiming for second-round picks with them. So, 2.5 hours of ripping 50 bombs, not having to pay a dime. It was about, hey. There you go, Crash in. Did you get anything good? Did you get anything good is the question. All right. 20 days out. None of these guys looking that great either. Looking okay. There doesn't appear to be like that slam dunk reliever to pick up. We have Howard Lynn. Started in 94, finished 9. Damn, Crash Andrews. Big spender Crash. This is not looking too good. Even next guy with the 94, Preston Saunders. I mean, again, some of these guys might be decent. Look at Quintana. Let's go further down. Again, Saunders was there. Hell of a lot of relievers available in this draft. In terms of quality, I know, Crash, I know. But still. In terms of reliever, there is quantity, but quality is very questionable. We'll stay focused on the bigger options. Unless we also look at closer, which we are going to. Israel Dew. Israel Dew. Again, is the temptation there to look at other options? Yes. Keep Schreiber. At the same time, we do have to prioritize need over best available. And again, some of these relievers, at least it knows who we're not going to immediately disqualify. DJ, thank you for the 3 months in advance sub. My goodness. It covers us straight into the summer. Thank you for that, buddy. I appreciate it. From now on, I decree it as always O'Hara. If you pronounce it O'Hara, you're wrong. I hereby decree. Guardians, Anthony Banda. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Whew. The final bit of scouting. Hello, Brian Chang. If we look for a reliever, Brian Chang. That's the way. So who else do we have? It is probably too late to start looking at some of the other top dogs that are available in the draft. Most of them are first baseman, or excuse me, starting pitcher. There was a first baseman. There's a couple of third basemen as well who could be awesome, but again, primary need was outfield and relief, and that is likely where we're going to stay. Likely where we're going to stay. Yeah, especially with someone like Doug Brown there. That's tough to pass up looking at Doug Brown. Let's see. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. You can't get everything you need in one draft. You can't do it. Cody, I don't think Chen will be available for us by the time we pick 10th. That's the only issue. Dansby Swanson. Dansby Swanson has been traded to the Angels for Curtis Moser, Deshaun Knowles, and Francisco Vega. Not bad. Contract did not last in Chicago. The Braves offer us Daniel Lynch, 29-year-old pitcher. All right. Here we go. Another year. Another year. Another draft. Let's take a look. And again, I agree Chen could be amazing. If he's still available when we pick 10th, I'll consider it. So outfielders, Claudio Zapata. I'm not sold. I'm just not off of what our scout's telling us. There's a chance he could be amazing. I'm not sold at all. I'm not sold on anybody in left field, really. In center, even Casey Porter, I'm not all that interested. In Vaccaro, Cruz, there's Bruce Chen. I'm not really sold. I don't think I'd take Frank Villafuerte or Hester early. But yeah, there's a lot of options in the outfield, and I'm not sold on any of them being the guy. At least not immediately. And even here with these relievers, that's a tough call. So honestly, I think we're going to have to wait and just see who's available at 10. Because in terms of scouting need first, it hasn't really led us down the path we were hoping for. I mean, there's a couple of closers that aren't bad, but I can't really take the closers early. So, sorry, I don't think he's going to drop out of the top 10. That's my guess. Let's see what happens here. I am not so confident heading into this draft compared to last year where we knew it was one of two guys. This year, it's a bit more of a toss-up. The Rockies select first overall. And with that pick, I wouldn't be surprised to see Chen here. It's a guy by the name of McCallum. Starting pitcher Sean McCallum was projected to go 12th, and the Rockies take him first overall. So clearly in terms of scouting him, they saw something that they liked. We'll find out at the end. Number 2 overall pick to the Baltimore Orioles, who were shockingly that bad. Jack Leroy, number 1 projected pick, goes 2nd overall. Did the Rockies just hand the Orioles an ace? And they've already had success in this run drafting starting pitchers. So that's a huge, huge move right there. And the 3rd overall pick belongs to Pittsburgh. And the Pirates select starting pitcher, shout to Tim Rage, starting pitcher Luke Robertson, who was projected 3rd and went 3rd. So from there we go to Oakland at 4. 3 starting pitchers to start off the year 4 draft for us. And 4th overall, Clifford Feldman, another starting pitcher. He was projected 33rd. Interesting start to this draft. It might open up a window of opportunity for us. Shortstop Julian Matos goes right where he was projected to go, to Kansas City. Cincy takes Cameron Jackson. Wow, that's the highest I've ever seen a reliever drafted. They liked him better than our scouts did. So Cameron Jackson off the board. Washington takes center fielder Casey Porter. Again, our scouts liked him, but I don't know how sold I was. I mean, good chance for a B potential. Right fielder TJ Hurley is off the board. Our scouts really didn't like him. He was projected 38th. And then 9th, Edgar Sanchez, projected 41st starting pitcher. So, we have a decision to make here. Because this David Chen guy is available. It would be best guess. We did not scout him. But that could be incredibly boom or bust. In terms of starting pitchers as well, there's nobody else who's projected to go overly high. There are the relievers that should still be available in the second round. I'd really love to end up with Brian Chang, because he looks like he could be the best pitcher of this bunch. But also Doug Brown's there. So in that instance, Chang or Brown, as long as we end up with one of them in round 2, we'd be pretty happy. None of these catchers were projected to be drafted in the first round. None of the first basemen or second baseman, well, technically. Shortstop, there's Sanchez. It's a lot of the outfielders that were projected to be drafted high. Damn. Game Studio, good to see you back. There's a lot of these outfielders that we were scouting because it was our biggest need that were projected to go high. I would, like, Claudio Zapata, like, I'm just not sold. Like, there's a chance, but again, our scout would have to be wrong. I mean, if he's a B, I'm not going to be that happy. No pun intended. It would probably make a lot of sense to take that third baseman because the outfielders we're looking at, Villafuerte, big risk. Hopefully he's available later. Hester, big risk. Hopefully he's available later. I think we risk it because third base was a kind of need. I think we risk it. We don't know a damn thing about him. But we're going to take David Chen with the 10th overall pick. Shot in the dark. Did not expect him to still be there. But we take David Chen, 10th overall. We'll see if it works. That's a huge, huge risk right there. Huge risk. All right, so Carlos Mitra is off the board. He was projected 23rd, another third baseman. Seattle would have taken Chen, 100%. 100%. And there goes that center fielder, Brian Chen, who I was interested in, just not at 10. So he is off the board. Oswaldo Morales, a catcher. He was taken. Man, this is a crazy draft in terms of reaches. 42nd, he goes 13th. Richie McDowell, starting pitcher. Goes right where he was projected to go. Chicago, Steven Aguilar. Big reach, 66th projected. He goes 15th to Chicago. Damn. And then go figure, the Cubs right after take Bryce Diggs. Another starting pitcher, pretty much on the money for projection. Toronto takes first baseman Stephen Kirby. Another pretty big reach in terms of projection. Texas. I mean, hey, we didn't really get to scout him beyond 10%, but there's a chance that Texas just ended up with a steal. We don't know for sure. We didn't scout starting pitchers beyond the generalizations. Ray Owens at center field. Again, I didn't like him. I didn't like him at all. Claudio Zapata. There goes the other outfielder that I was kind of interested in. I don't know if we're getting that outfield help this year. We do have those two other lower prospects. Satchel Prado. First round projections. Not a huge reach for the Mets. Padres at 22. Spencer Chow. Starting pitcher who again was projected to go in the second round. The reaches have been insane. Detroit takes Jonas Zamora. First round projection for him. First baseman. Again, we didn't scout him. So we do not know. Cardinals took Lloyd O'Hara, which I'm okay with. Not sold on him either at 85% scouted. We're okay with that. Shortstop Jesus Sanchez. Yes, these will be up on YouTube. I think starting tomorrow is when the first one's scheduled. Does medical opt-out go into your prospect decisions? Not a ton. Not a ton, because how bad could it be? Until it's proven, shout out to Mike Jones, until it's proven that, like, oh yeah, shit, you really want to avoid that? I'm willing to risk it for now. So Estevan is gone as well. So a lot of these teams are either getting very good outfielders or they're being jebaited into taking players they shouldn't. There's another one, center fielder Rafael Cruz. Last pick of the first round belongs to the defending champions in Houston. And they take Miguel Montoya, another starter. So here we go. We're going to sim ahead. Oh, there goes Brian Chang. Shit. We got to hope Doug Brown stays. Hoping Doug Brown is there when we skip ahead. Yes. Oh, this could be huge for us. It could be. A lot of the relievers started to go. And we weren't really sold on any of them except for Brian Chang and Doug Brown. And again, a lot of guys that we didn't get the chance to scout. But we have our guy. If our scouts are right, and it's a very nice scouting progress. If our guys are right about Doug Brown, and we can get one of these two outfielders in the third round, this could be our best draft yet. Doug Brown is my choice. I hope the scouts are right. I hope they are. Let's move on. So one outfielder is gone, but the other remains. Holy compensation rounds. Sorry, I'm just looking at some of the names and where they went. Some of the names and where they went. So Frank Villafuerte went to Tampa. We gotta hope he's a bust compared to Darren Hester. Villafuerte is the guy I wanted more. Again, I am well aware Hester is 23. I am hoping that my scouts are right about the potential, but wrong about the overall. And the third round is the time to take that chance. We're going to take Darren Hester. So we're going to hope. We're going to hope. This is a... I don't know what's up with those zeros there. This is a draft of risks for us. No doubt. How does everyone you look at go within your division? Good question. So we are in the fourth round. We are in fucking uncharted waters here. Again, outfield was a target. We already picked up one. I don't think there was anybody else we were really interested in. There is not. There is not. In terms of relievers, could take a chance on Preston Saunders just because. Couple other guys here whose potentials might be half decent. There is Romeo Quintana. There's a chance his overall is dirt. Like absolute dirt. So that scares me a little bit. And there's nobody else. We got 3 minutes left. Starting pitcher was the next biggest need. I mean, Alexi Valdi is there. Alexi Valdi is there. There's really nobody at starting pitcher I like either. We did take a third rounder or a third baseman earlier. There's also Dave Cole. If we wanted to double up our chances, there are 6 rounds in the game. Nate Logan could be worth a complete risk. Second base, Brian Delgado. And then catcher, Leonard Dodson. There's also Hideki Ka. Okay, so again, we are in best guess territory here. Relievers are the top need. Again, Quintana at 18, 66 to 92. Nate Logan at third would be a hell of a risk pick. We know nothing about him. Relievers are the biggest need. I have to go for a reliever first. 18, 60 to 94, 66 to 92. Potential lower overall. We're going to go best guess on Preston Saunders here in round 4. Again, we need a reliever. It's the 4th round. Round number 5. A couple of those guys are still left. I do still need to prioritize relievers. But there's also 2 third basemen and 2 catchers. 65 to 99, 75 to 99, a year older. Only reason I'm interested in Kaz is that overall would be higher. Let's go for Nate Logan. Risk it for Nate Logan here in round 5. And round 6, everyone else I was looking at is gone. There's a guy named Joe Bush. Shit. Oh, boy. Any tips on scouting info? Still learning myself in a lot of ways. I don't really bother with discovery at this point because you don't have much time. Unless you're going to focus solely on one position. Right now I'm looking at overall ranges. Yeah, we're just shit out of luck here. We're just shit out of luck. Our best bet's just to probably take a super young reliever or a younger catcher and just hope for the best. That is our best bet. There are a lot of younger relievers and then 1 catcher in Dominic Clem. Again, we're not going to have any info on these guys. Got the Hoyt Beatty. Again, we just need arms for the bullpen eventually. All these guys are looking rough. Let's go for the Massachusetts boy, Charlie Palmer. Why not? 6th round, just gotta hope for the best. I don't know how we did. I don't know how we did, especially because we took the big risk on David Chen without having him scouted at all. Did we make a mistake? We might have.